Hello, my friends. Oh my gosh. It's been so long. Welcome to the podcast pre-show. Do us a favor and drop a microphone emoji if you are currently watching us live. And if you're watching this on the replay, you could fast forward a little bit because this is the podcast pre-show. Blake, what is the podcast pre-show?
This is when we get things going on. Mary starts sharing all the different links. We check to make sure that our stream is good. You get a chance to comment and chat with us for a few minutes before we get into the rest of the show. Of course, the podcast pre-show is just when we get into the show, it is a fly-in-the-wall experience for you, the viewer. In this particular instance, we will eventually get to a listener feedback episode where you will play a much larger role, but that is at another date, at another time. For today, Mary and I...
either tomorrow, Wednesday, or Friday.
Yes, we'll figure it out.
So we're going to figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
We want to thank you for your patience.
Yes.
I have been really sick. Someone, I think it was Helen, just was like, Mary, how do you look so lovely? You've been sick. It's called the magic of the red lip.
It's called Minute with Mary.
Listen, I'm serious, guys. Close friends and family knows about me. For years, I have rocked this trick. If you feel like crap, you throw on a very bold lip, and it distracts from the rest of the things going on with you. You can add a little extra rouge, okay? The rouge is a rouge. I'll tell you that.
I tried it once, and unfortunately, it was very distracting for everybody else. So I will no longer do that.
Yeah, but honestly, and know that going forward, because it is cold and flu season. It is busy time of year season. I'm telling you. And by the way, I have a special going on at minutewithmary.com right now that is lips now through Thanksgiving. So I'm just saying, if you're looking for a lip color, this one's called Wealthy. I love it. It is my favorite matte red.
Yep.
But it gets the job done if you are feeling like poopy.
Poopy.
And you need to start to feel better. Really excited, and thank you again. Like I said, I've been super
just
sick.
poopy.
I was I've had a lot of infections going on, and then I was put on medicine. Then I had to be put on more medicine, and then that medicine made me sick. So it is
all of the infections.
All of it. So I have not been well. And all I wanted to do is talk about Outlander. So I'm glad that you here also want to be chatting Outlander. And as Blake said, we are going to be having a listener feedback episode. So if you have voicemail that you would like to submit, head to maryandblake.com, click the upper right-hand corner, contact us.
Yes.
You can leave that voicemail. We just want to thank you. We want to thank you so much for your flexibility with us as we've been going through all of this. And I think it's about damn time. As Lizzo
it's
would
about
say.
damn time. We're ready to go, man.
And friends on Instagram, the party is happening on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching this on Instagram, I'm telling you, there's more conversation and fun. So head on over to Facebook and YouTube. And friends, if you do not get my emails, go to maryandblake.com. There's going to be a pop-up. Make sure that you sign up for both the Mary and Blake emails as well as the Outlander cast emails. I also have a complimentary texting list. If someone wouldn't mind writing it in the comments. If you live in the U.S., you're going to text this number. You're just going to text the word Outlander. I let you know when we're going live. So it's 401-281-5551. If someone could write that both in Facebook and in YouTube, it's 401-281-5551, and you just type the word Outlander, and it's literally me sending you a text being like, hey, we're going live. So that way you can join us.
Hold on, we're going to make sure.
Hold
on.
US,
something.
Something's wrong?
No, nothing is wrong. It's just that I for some reason, I have us on Instagram, and we're getting two different feeds.
Oh, interesting.
This is the beauty of live podcasting.
And this is why we do the podcast pre-show, guys. Because we like fine-tune, but we get to hang on out.
Okay.
Do me a favor, my friends. Hit that share button. So if you're on YouTube, you can actually copy the link and you can pop it in your Instagram stories. And by clicking the little square button up top, you can actually add a link. So you can do a little screenshot and drop this in your stories with a clickable link, letting us know that you share it with your other friends. If you're on Facebook, you can share this with your friends. You can share it in other Outlander groups. You could share it on your wall. You could share it on your stories. If you share, come back to the comments here on Facebook or YouTube and write Je suis prêt, a.k.a. I am ready, and Blake and I can give you a shout out. And those of you who are members at jointhenerdclan.com, you can do the hashtag GoNerdClanGo so we can give you a little shout out. Thank you, Laura Light, for putting the phone number with the word Outlander. I appreciate it so incredibly much. Let us know where you guys are all tuning in from. We would love to know.
What I want to know is how do I mute
me?
This yeah. No, my love, I could never ever.
Thank
do
you,
that.
Rhonda Martin, for putting all the phone number and the information.
Here we go.
Oh, it's
got it.
Rhonda, there's 3 5s in a row, so it's 401-281-5551. 5 is my favorite number, so I picked a phone number with lots of 5s.
Now we even have comments on Instagram.
Oh, so Instagram friends, don't forget, the party is happening on Facebook or YouTube. Just search Mary and Blake. I love you here on Instagram, but I'm just saying there's more fun happening there. So if you're not on Facebook or YouTube right now, that's where you want to be.
All right, Marvin. Now we got Instagram. We got everything else going on up.
Yes,
We're ready to go. We can even see the comments on Instagram now, which is great. So if you are watching, do send us some.
Blanca says she's tuning in from Montrose, Scotland. Still cannot figure out time zones. Blanca, we are the same time zone as New York City.
Yes.
So if that helps.
So
we are Eastern time.
You're 5 hours ahead of us.
So it is currently 2:21 p.m.
Yeah. So that's that.
Hopefully that helps, Blanca. But we're 3 hours away from New York City.
Yes. All right. You ready to make a podcast, Marvin?
I am.
All right, everybody, say it with me now. It is 10 seconds for
room tone. And
All right.
room tone, if this is your first time joining us live, is super awkward to do live because Blake has to record 10 seconds of silence. So we just kind of sit here. And this is when you get to have fun in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know your GBGs. Let us know your kilts rating. All the good things. Because I can't talk for 10 seconds. And it's really awkward.
All right, here we go.
The more that you chat, the better this live is going to be. I'm telling you.
All right, let's do it.
I feel how you told me you felt when you came through the stones. As if your world was still there, but it's not the world you had. This is my home, and yet...
Home is where the heart is. It's also the place where it can be broken.
These walls have witnessed all our family's woes.
And countless blessings. First time we ever said I love you was in this room.
Some things didn't change.
All the way from Providence, Rhode Island, this is Outlander Cast. It's a podcast dedicated to the show Outlander on Stars.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to Skye.
Hello, everybody. It feels so good to have the Skyboat song in my life again on a regular basis. My name is Mary Larson. I'm your host and joined by my amazing husband. Say a little hello, Blake.
My name is Blake. I'm ready to be back. Ready to be back here for
Je
Outlander.
sais quoi, man. Je sais quoi.
I gotta say, too, this new music, fire. Pure flames. Spitting out a Ray Yarbrough.
I'm glad because this was my idea.
I know.
So, in case you're tuning in, so you've watched episode 709, Unfinished Business, and in the beginning of the episode, it's Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
Still singing the Skyboat song, the late Sinead O'Connor. But, friends, Bear McCreary dropped a 7B soundtrack.
Yep.
And that song that you just heard
Ain't messing around.
is the final song on the soundtrack, which leads me to believe it's going to be the season finale that kind of opens with it or
Probably.
something. I feel like it's going to take us a little while to get there. Who knows? Maybe when Claire's in America, this pops up. Who knows?
Yep.
But I feel like it is. I love me some Rhea Yarbrough. I feel
That's the
uplifted.
OG. Yeah, let's not mess. We haven't had Rhea in a while.
We haven't.
Yeah.
And when I heard this song, I was like, Blake, we have to have this as our intro for all of 7B. I don't care if it's not what the opening is. It's going to be the opening at some point.
Sure.
And this is what I need in my life. My friends, check out Bear's new soundtrack if you
it's
haven't
so
already
good.
checked it out. It's so
It's
good.
actually, the season 7 soundtrack is my favorite so far. And I would say by a pretty wide margin.
Yes.
It's so listenable. and it has all the great themes that you've come to love from Outlander. It has all the great bagpipes, and then it has obviously this version of the Skyboat song. Yeah, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in. I'm ready to go. I'm
Likewise.
back for Outlander,
You know,
baby.
we might even sprinkle some more of these new songs in during this season for sound drops because Blake and I love it that much.
Sure.
So you never know. You never know, my friends. So yeah, we've been having a lot of big things coming on up, a lot of fun stuff. But most importantly, Outlander's back.
Yes.
And we can all just breathe this happy sigh of relief. Here we are in the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
It is cold and dark and gloomy for a lot of people
Feels
around
about right.
the world. But Outlander is here. And the amount of hugs in this episode is what our souls needed.
Sure.
You agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking, coming back to Outlander, and I wrote this in my knee-jerk reaction over at jointhenerdclan.com. So if you ever want to get like super early access to my thoughts, like literally right after I watch the episode, you can do that. Go to jointhenerdclan.com, and where I write the knee-jerk reactions. It's just my first take, my first emotional reaction to what I watched. I really felt like getting back to Outlander was exactly how Jamie described it, and which is why I played that at the top of our episode, Mary, which is like, this is my home, but things feel different. Things feel weird to get back to in Outlander. I mean, how could it not be, really? It's been a year and a half since we saw the first half of this season, and God knows how long it was in between seasons 6 and season 7. So it's pretty wild. And you think about it, Mary, I just realized something too. August 14th of this past summer, Mary, marks 10 years of us podcasting Outlander.
August 14th?
August 14th, 2014.
Yes.
And the reason why I know is because we recorded our first episode of Outlander Cast right before I had to go to my buddy's wedding. And I had to drive up to Maine on my motorcycle. And I was part of the wedding party. And Mary and I recorded the first episode in our crappy dining room in our old apartment in Providence. And so, yeah, I've always remembered that date. So it's been 10 years. 10 years.
How wild
Wow.
is that?
Crazy.
You know, it's been amazing. We're going to have to do some kind of a reflection podcast episode between now and the finale season because, you know, Outlander's been with us a decade. Blake and I have been podcasting about this a decade. We had only had one child when we started podcasting. I got pregnant during season 1.
Yep.
We actually I gave birth to our little lass on the season 1 finale date. We watched the Outlander season finale in the hospital room.
Yep.
I had a, I don't know, hour-old. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my recovery was pretty quick. I gave birth, guys.
Oh,
I didn't get checked in. I was like a movie birth.
yes.
Where I didn't even get checked in. They just like wheeled me in a wheelchair, and they were like, "Is there anything we need to know?" And all I could think of was to tell people I was allergic to scallops. Like, that's what you need to know as I'm about to give birth. I'm allergic to scallops. And they wheeled me in.
Lady.
I gave birth super quick, so quick. I actually caught my daughter, like, while giving birth. I caught her. And then they asked me, they're like, "Do you need anything?" And I was like, "Nah, just a turkey sandwich. I want to watch Outlander." And that's what we did.
You got some Gatorade? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's my iPad?
That's it. That we whipped out the iPad and Blake and I watched it while our little newborn slept. We actually have a picture. And I think Matt Roberts even like commented on
Matt Roberts retweeted it.
Yep, he retweeted it because we said, you know, Outlander's youngest fan. Yeah, now we're old watching.
I know.
of season 1. But we've been podcasting that long. We are some OGs of the Outlander podcasting, and we are just so happy to be here with you as we kind of wrap up this beautiful story. But here we are, season 7B.
Unbelievable.
Unfinished business.
All right, Marvin, are you ready to get into the show? Or you got anything else you want to talk about before we get into it?
I want to get into it.
Let's do it, shall we?
Let's do this, yes. Hello, my friends. You ready for some mini plot recap? I mean, we all just watched the episode, but if you're listening to this in the future, there are so many Sassenachs who pop up late in the game. So hi, late Sassenachs, you time travelers, you. In case you need a wee bit of a refresher, because maybe you get to binge all of 7 together, you lucky ducks. This is 709, Unfinished Business. This is the episode where Jamie, Claire, and Ian head on back to Scotland. They have a grand reunion with the Murray family. We got a new Jenny cast here. Everybody's hugging. Everybody's loving. Elder Ian not doing so well. Elder Ian telling Ian giving someone a dog is not how you propose. Get back to America. Nice hug, but get out of here. Get out of here. What are you doing? Okay. Roger and Buck are back in time, but confusing because he's like, oh, I'm here during Jamie's dad's time. So that's going on. Jemmy is still missing. Bree is crying while driving. And I don't know about you, but there is nothing like crying while driving anxiety except sneezing when you drive anxiety.
Oh,
when you
that's
feel
the
that
worst.
sneeze come on. So thank God she didn't sneeze and cry because I would have felt even worse for her. And we have a few surprise guests in this episode.
Big one. Huge.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into this too. The rest of the things. The title, as Mary had mentioned, was Unfinished Business, which I think is apropos for many of the characters in this episode. There's a lot of unfinished business everywhere.
All over the place.
The writer was Barbara Stepanski. If you don't know that name, I don't blame you. She was a story editor for most of season 5, and she wrote the episode 605, Give Me Liberty. And then there was the director, Stuart Sfassand, who is a new director to Outlander. You may have seen some of his work if you are a fan of Grantchester, Harriet's Army, or Shetland. He directed at least 2 to 3 of those episodes, respectively. So check that out. If that's your bag, man, go check out some of that real super serious British TV. Like that's legit British TV. All right, Marvin, your kilts. How many kilts are you giving this episode?
If you are new here to Outlander Cast, we rate each episode on a 1 to 5 scale. Kilt rating, what we like to do. So friends who are joining us live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, drop your kilt rating below. My kilt rating for this episode, I gotta tell you, I'm going in hot.
No, really?
I'm giving it a 5.
Oh my God.
I'm giving it a 5 for all the reasons. Ready?
Oh.
I'm here for Bears music. I'm so happy to be with everybody. So many hugs. I don't cry that often when I watch shows. I cried during this episode. And holy flippin' Gayless. Woo! Baby!
Yeah,
my God. So there's very little that I didn't like about this episode. I have rewatched it many times. I've been sick for a few days, so I got to rewatch it several times. I've been listening to the soundtrack, in my sleep. It's fantastic, and I'm just so happy to be back. So whopping 5 kills.
I don't know if I could. I'm not going to drop.
What are you giving it? It's okay. We know you're negative, Nancy.
I'm not going to drop the shame bell on you because I'm never going to. I'm not going to take shame.
Don't yuck my yum. Don't yuck my yum. Blake.
I'm gonna go. What did I have written down here? I had 473.
No, that's actually pretty high for you.
It's pretty good. Well, you know what? It's really characterized by the fact that I'm excited. I get the warm and the fuzzies.
Yeah.
Being back in
Fight with Leary. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
Drama.
It's like it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's good to see the familiar faces. It's good to be back in this universe. It's good to be, especially in Scotland. I think there are some issues that we have to talk about, but all in all, I think it was a good experience.
Agreed.
473.
Agreed. And
all right,
that
your
is a
GBG.
high rating for you, Blake.
You're good. You're bad.
Okay.
And you're great.
My good for this episode is just the fact that it is so good to be back. It is so good to be not only back to Outlander, not only back with my favorite characters, not only back with my favorite music, but to be back fully in Scotland.
Sure.
Both times, all 3 times going on are here in Scotland. And we get to just hear the bagpipes. And when Jamie starts off the episode talking about home and seeing the Highlands and having the bagpipes, I was like, me too, Jamie.
Yeah.
Me too. So it is just good to be back. My bad. Couple of little sticky things. Okay.
Sure.
And I hate to say it. And as Taylor Swift would say, hate is going to hate, 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 hate.
Sure.
I just need to get it off my chest.
Okay.
Jenny's wig.
Jenny's wig was
great.
So
bad.
Yeah.
Listen, if your show is known for not having good wigs, fix your freaking wigs. Fix your wigs.
Not
and don't
great,
be getting some
Mom.
new person on
Mm-hmm.
who already has to act like somebody else who is acting like somebody else. and then give her the worst one. Oh, man.
That's
You know we're already judging Jenny 2.0.
brutal.
Okay? Jenny from the block. You know we are.
Yeah.
She's not even Brock. She's a Jenny from the block. Because, like, what are we doing with your hair, honey? Come on, fix it. It looked great from the back. The front, not so much.
Yeah.
So I was already taken aback.
None of the wigs look very good.
And if the wig looked better, I would have been better. I would have just been better. I would have accepted her. But my actual bad is the tuberculosis is flowing all around this space, okay? Ian's coughing all the time.
Everywhere.
Now, granted, the rest of the Murray family has now been here for a long time,
Sure.
okay? So they probably already have, like, latent TB flowing in them, and they're fine.
They're not social distancing.
Claire, we know you're fine, Claire. Jamie, not so much. Ian, not so much. And he's just like, have we learned nothing from COVID, Outlander?
No, apparently not.
I would have just liked Claire to be like, let's have this conversation outside. Let's
Yeah.
open some windows. Let me make you a mask. I just feel not great about that because that's
Yeah.
how it spread.
Sure.
So, like I said, the people have already been living there. It's already flowing in them and they're fine. I just felt awkward for Jamie and Ian, and I had to kind of get that off my chest because
Sure.
Claire is the medical professional. I just would have liked it if she said, can we open a window
let's
for
figure
some
this out.
circulation?
You know how much like splutter is everywhere? There's got to be spittle and splutter.
All of it. All of
That
it.
sounds like
Blake.
a good album.
Okay,
Spittle
and then
and
my
splutter.
great is every hug made me cry.
Yeah.
And I think not only because I'm happy for these beloved characters, but like every hug felt like I was getting it. Every hug was like a welcome back to Outlander. This has been a really long Droughtlander, and it's just been super duper weird because it's not even like a real Droughtlander between real seasons. It's separated season 7 in half and a lot longer than we expected. And it's just been a really hard time in life for many people. It's been a really, 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 really hard year for our family. We've had a lot of things going on, and I just feel like as the winter solstice is coming closer and it's just dark and it's gloomy, and this is what my soul needs right now. And I feel like for many people right now, this is what your soul needs right now too. And so every hug felt like they were hugging Mary Larson in Providence, Rhode Island. And I was like, thank you, Jenny. I don't know. Oh my God. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks Claire. Thanks Jamie. Thanks other Jamie. Love you all. It was just awesome.
Yep. All right. For my good, I have kind of like a 3-way tie. And I know you love when I do ties.
Oh my God, I hate when you do ties.
But I got a 3-way tie.
It's the premiere.
Yeah, we're breaking all the rules. We can break all the rules during the premiere and the
we can.
finale. That's
Sure.
how it goes. All right. My first tie is all the knit porn. There's so much knit porn. It's great.
Oh my God.
Like, to
my
get back
cold
to-
hands.
Oh, it was great. To get back to all of that,
Yes.
seeing the stuff on Jenny and on Claire. She had that rap again.
Leg hair had it on
Leg
her.
hair had all the knit porn. Like I was in.
Yep.
Like that gave me some warm and fuzzies from season 1. The other one is when Claire was telling her story of being from the future. I want you to go back, and when they cut to the 3 Murrays listening to the story, Ian Sr. has the most unamused face. No reaction whatsoever. Like almost looking
It's
like
just shock.
No,
Just
almost looking like he's bored. It was that.
But like,
It was
we're not.
great.
But we're not saying that in a bad way. You're
No,
saying
no.
because it's that realistic.
Yeah.
You know, like you're so used to these like bombastic results, like whoa my gosh, like
Yes.
totally in your face. No way, Claire. And
Ian's face was just
Ian is so sick,
blank. Yeah, I don't even-
dying soon,
the guy was on freaking Mars at that point.
And his
He
mind
probably
is
couldn't even
moving.
hear the words coming out of her mouth.
and his mind's moving a little slowly, and he's just trying to digest all this. But I agree. Blake actually had me go back and just watch Ian Sr. during
his
the
face.
confession time.
Just go back during the confession and see it, and just focus on him. You will laugh your face off. It is awesome. All right, but my real good is the sequence with Roger walking up to Lallybrock and the way that they edited that. I thought the editing was fantastic.
Yep.
I love those kind of trickery edits where you think one thing's happening and then another thing happens, and it creates great tension, and it also allows for that explosive moment when you realize, yo, this ain't right. it's an immediate thing. Something is wrong, and I love that kind of misdirection. Really great stuff.
Did you know it was going to be a misdirection the entire time? Were you just excited for it? Or did you think that was actually? Did you think Roger was going to knock and Jamie answer?
I figured, only because I'm cynical, that there was going to be some kind of misdirection. I didn't think that it was just going to be as easy for Roger as just showing up and being like, "Yay, Jamie, wee!" Like, no, it's never that easy in Outlander, and it didn't surprise me, but the way that they executed it, I thought was intentional, and I thought it was excellent. So I really like that. All right, my bad. I usually say stats are for nerds when it comes to this kind of stuff, but this is one of those things that I just can't seem to overlook.
Oh my God, okay.
All right, how long does it take for a letter to get from Philadelphia to Lallybroch? Just to give a take.
Nowadays?
No, at the time. How long?
2 months?
2 months, maybe.
I have no idea, Blake. I'm not a post-service person.
All right, maybe some nerds that are watching live right now, you can give us the answer, and I'll call it out. Let's just say it's 2 months. Let's just say.
Why not?
You got to figure there's like it gets to Scotland in 2 months, then you got about like another week or so, and then, Claire gets the letter, reads the letter, farts around for a day or two, getting her stuff together. Then she's got what? Another 2 months to get back to Philadelphia? When all is said and done, we're nearly a half a year out from when that letter is written, right? How in God's name is this guy going to survive musket balls in his abdomen for 6 months? What? What are we doing?
I mean, maybe the letter came on their same ship. You never know.
Well, yeah, but still, like that
I
amount
agree.
of time.
That is a long time to try to like survive with musket balls in your belly.
Yeah, I mean the lead poisoning alone, I would imagine would get you. Never mind the mortal wounds that you're getting, right? So, and I just wanted to. There's a part of me that's getting sick of Claire and Jamie being separated.
Oh, well, hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
No, I know, but like, and I get it. Like, you need to create tension and whatever, but part of me wants them to just solve a problem together. And I'm kind of tired of this trope of separating them, because nothing good is gonna come out of this. But I'll save that for my outlandish theory.
Do it, man.
The great though is clearly the heart of the episode, and that is Ian and Ian Sr. So Ian, young Ian, and
wee Ian,
and Ian.
I mean, now there's
Sr.
wee Ian.
Yeah. So whatever, Mohawk Ian and Dad Ian, right? The heart of the episode, really, truly, for me, is that, and the relationship that they share, and the conversation of, a dog does not a marriage guarantee, or freaking Daddy and walking down those stairs with his tartan on and giving his son the final embrace. It was the amount of emotion that came out of that scene for me was a lot, and it was genuine. The show had earned that moment. And I will even say, like I said in my knee-jerk reaction, even this cold, embittered, cynical soul that resides within me, it shed some tears. It shed some tears. I got misty eyed. So it was quite good. So that is that.
I love it. I'm so happy that you're here for it.
Yeah, I am.
Tears.
I am. You know what I'm not sure if I'm here for, though, Mary, is Roger's inner monologue. How do you feel about the inner monologue as a new device for Roger?
I love it. I'm here for it. For anyone who's new, sadly, Blake has a chip on his shoulder. Even though he's a lot like Roger, he's got a chip on his shoulder about Roger.
That guy. That guy.
All because Rick Rankin gave me a
hitting
pin.
on my wife.
He just gave me a pin.
Hitting on my wife.
Telling you, he just liked me because I was not gonna get signatures. I was too busy getting chicken and pasta at an event. I was hungry. I think he just realized like I was one of the
No,
few.
when you see that ring that's shining in your face, you don't talk to another man's wife.
Anyway, so now that you're done for the season, right? You're done with your get it out.
Got to
Haley,
get it out. Get the poison
Get it
out immediately. Rick Rankin. That guy.
Anyway, so I enjoyed Roger's voiceover because it reminded me a lot of Claire, season 1, talking about how she felt coming out of the stones and
Sure.
talking about it made me feel like this is a great way to start season. Let's be real, it's not a real new season, but to us it's like a real new season.
Yeah.
So I thought it was I don't know if I want to have his monologue continue all season long.
I hope it does not.
But we had Jamie's as well, because Jamie opened up as he's talking about being happy to be back in Scotland with the bagpipes and the Highlands and the moors and everything. So I'm okay with the voiceovers.
Sure.
It was a lot, I will say, but how else are we supposed to know about it? And I think that these thoughts are important. And it did, like when Claire was inside, the Laird's room with all the birds and trying to figure out like what year is it and trying to find these different things, to have Roger going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, if this is Brian and if Jamie's in school and he's in France, it's this time. So it just harkened me back to season 1 of Outlander, and I
Fair.
liked it for that purpose.
Fair. I liked the reaction stuff of when he sees Galus for the first time. It's like, Jesus
was
Christ,
amazing.
or even when he first wakes up and he's like talking about the little beetle, like,
Mhm.
Whatever it was.
Are there beetles in heaven?
Yeah. I liked that stuff. Or when he sees Brian and he says, you're supposed to be dead. Like, what are you doing here? I get it. I get the usefulness of it, especially when you're purposely trying to have those kind of emotions and,
And
you're
it
trying to
gives
show it.
character and flair to Roger that
We
may
don't
not
often
necessarily get. So
Yes.
I liked it. I hope it's not overused this season, but on the flip side, if it helps flesh out his character, which I think the show's been lacking, then I'm here for it. Especially like he doesn't. I mean, he can say as much as he can to Buck, but now he's not even necessarily now he's back with Buck, but he wasn't with Buck this pretty much whole episode. He's with people he doesn't know as he's trying to figure things out. You know that if this were you and you were trying to find your kid and you're at a completely different time, you don't know what the heck's going on, you'd be having your own inner monologue.
Oh, of course. But the aside from Claire, and I think maybe once with Jamie, they really haven't done a whole ton of it with Claire since seasons 1 or 2. They really haven't established that kind of that language for Roger. So to have it kind of appear out of nowhere, it does feel a tad forced. But regardless, I never give any show, never mind Outlander, but any show, I never give them criticism for trying something new, getting a little weird, doing something different, adding to the language of the show. Yeah, I'm in. I'll give it a shot.
Love it.
We'll see what happens with it.
I'm here for it. And that's your one time that you get to hate, okay?
Thank
you. Done.
We'll see. We'll see how much.
I'm
We'll
the
see how
boss.
much this
I'm the
season
boss.
features Roger.
Well, hold on tight, Spider Monkey. Okay,
man.
hold on tight. That's
Yeah,
all I
so,
can say.
what else-
Interesting, hold on tight.
What else stands out to you, my darling?
Everything?
Well, I could say that seeing leg hair was fun.
That was amazing. First off, Jamie rolled it on up, and we're gonna get to his conversations with Claire.
Yeah.
Can we just go like scene by scene?
Whatever
Because I
you
feel
want.
like that's what I need in my life. All right, so we start things off with Jamie and Claire. How did you feel being back in the Highlands, having his voiceover?
Yeah, I was really happy with it.
The horse is riding in the green grass.
Yeah, it's so good, and I know they're not filming in Scotland, but the fact that we as a show can get back there and listen, I have said it before and I'll say it again. Your setting is just as important as your plot.
They're there.
Huh?
They're there.
No, I know I'm saying.
You said I know that they're not filming in Scotland.
They're not. They're filming in North Carolina.
They also film in Scotland.
Well, but whatever. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is your setting is extraordinarily important. It is just as vital as casting or directing or your script. it gives your show another layer if it's unique. Like, I just watched that show Severance, and I know you haven't watched it, Mary, but for those of you who have, that setting in that environment is extraordinarily important to that show, to the DNA of that show and how it works, why it works.
Dino DNA?
The same thing can be said for Scotland. Scotland gives Outlander a certain magic that it does not have when it's out. That's what makes it special, which, oddly enough, kind of makes me look forward to the spin-off, Blood of My Blood.
See, everyone's saying they did film in Scotland. See, I know they've been filming in Scotland because
whatever.
we're like seeing the things.
Whatever. Sure.
You just had your brain fart.
Yeah. No, they are filming in Scotland. I'm sorry. They're posing North Carolina as...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
It's
They're
the
in
other way
Scotland.
around.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Hand up.
Yeah, when they were in America, it was actually Scotland.
It's a take retraction.
Okay.
Okay?
Your brain went backwards.
Regardless, being in Scotland
Yes.
narratively provides a certain magic to the show
There we go.
that is not there when we're elsewhere. And it feels right when we're in Scotland. I'm worried that we're going to be leaving Scotland very shortly, which kind of upsets me. I don't want to leave.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my thought.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we are back in Scotland. Everyone's in Scotland, and they are filming in Scotland, friends, just in case.
Sorry, no, I made a mistake.
That's okay. That's okay. You made me double check because I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, no, like I knew it was
otherwise.
something where it was like they're filming one place and it's posing as another, and I
you
screwed it
usually
up.
are like king of facts.
Yeah, I
so that's
know.
why
I know. I
yeah.
screwed it
Anyway, so we're here. We spend so much time at Lallybroch, and I just need to say, being back at Lallybroch in different time zones and time periods, different centuries even, is amazing.
Mhm.
Homes are so important. We live here in the United States, and we live in the older portion of the United States, but really it's not that old. And yet it's funny when people come visit from the western part of our country and they come to Newport, they come to Providence, they come to different areas that like the settlers really, went to, the Pilgrims, and then the people who ended up moving here, or maybe even houses since like the Revolutionary or the Civil War. They're like, wow, these are really old. And you sit there and you're like, not really.
Yeah, right.
Like,
it's not that old.
It's not that
I mean, it's old,
old.
but it ain't that old.
Like, our house was built in the 1950s, and people are like, well, you got a 1950s house. And I'm like, that is not old at all compared to the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And so here we get to see Lallybroch lived in by the Frasers in different decades and different
Awesome.
centuries. And it's just so neat. And I got to tell you, friends, for our friends at jointhenerdclan.com, which is like our wonderful patron site of amazing people who give as little as $2 a month to help support, keep our lights on, make sure we can continue to make free podcasts. There might be a gift along the Lallybroch lines. I'm not going to give too much away. But if you love Lallybroch, make sure that you are signed up for the level that gets you a holiday gift.
Yep.
And if you want a holiday card in general, you also need to be made sure. You got to make sure you sign up, by the way, and go to jointhenerdclan.com by the end of this week, essentially, because we're going to be sending out
I would say
holiday
by November 31st. Give us.
That's this week. Blake.
Oh, is it really?
Today's the
know.
26th.
Is it really?
Yes,
like,
it is.
The time just.
I know. Well, we're watching a show
freaking
about time travel, but I'm
flies.
just saying, like, in all the different ways, I'm so happy to be back there.
What year is it again?
So, we get Claire and Jamie and Ian riding their horses and heading up to Lallybroch, and we get new Jenny coming on out. And I think that they did this scene in a very clever way to really help people, because obviously, like, we're devout fans of the show. We knew that Jenny was going to be, OG Jenny is busy. She's in a different show. So we knew she wasn't coming back. We knew they were recasting. And with the grace and love that we give everyone who comes on this show, we're like, okay, not ideal, but this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
This is what we had to do with even Rings of Power. They switched to main character. Like, this is what happens. And it is important for us to still have the character of Jenny in this show. So they obviously did recast. And I thought it was really interesting how she runs on out and she runs to Ian. And it's this exchange of like, my wee lad and ma and hug. So it's like, okay, in case you didn't know who this was, in case you thought it was like an aunt or a sister or whatever.
Yeah.
And the character of Jenny during this hug scene, the three different people hugging, Then Jamie refers to her as his sister.
Yeah.
You know, say whatever you want or do whatever you want to need to me, sister. I deserve it. And then she runs up and hugs him. And then Claire says, Jenny. So it's like, that's my mom. That's my sister.
Yeah.
That's Jenny. Like 3 beats in a row of like, okay, viewer, in case you didn't get the memo,
Right.
this is who this is and we need you to believe this. The thing that I loved is they really still captured Jenny's clothing, her same hairstyle. The new actress really tried to mimic the same way she kind of holds her body and the way she kind of like waits and then kind of bursts into different things. And in this particular scene, the first one we're seeing her, she actually hides the front of her face a lot. So she's hugging someone and it's like half of her face.
Yeah.
Or when she hugs Jamie, which was kind of an awkward hug, but it's the entire back of her. So you just get the back of her hair, everything still looks the same. And so I really liked how they did that for the more casual viewer to really just instill it in your head that you got to just believe that this is who this person is. We'll even hide her face half the time and tell you several times who this is. So how did you feel about the new Jenny casting?
Recasting is never ideal. And, you know, you just talked about it, Mary. Rings of Power, they had to recast a major cast member for season 2. Again, not ideal, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And in this case, I thought that the show handled it very organically, the way that people greeted each other, especially when you have not seen them in a long time. It's only natural they're going to say something along the lines of, oh, hey, my son, or my sister, or like, that's a natural thing.
Yes.
You're going to say the person's name so that, you know, I always thought the best way that was ever handled for recasting that I ever saw was Iron Man 2, when they went from Terrence Howard as Rhodey to what's his name? Don Cheadle as Rhodey, and they show up and, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is walking into court and you see Rhodey sitting at the desk. And he's like, oh, hey, Rhodey, how you doing? He goes, yeah, it's me, okay? It's me.
Yes.
And they hug, and then he's like, all right, you ready to move on? Yes. Okay, let's go. That was really great because it felt natural to those characters, but it was also this like small wink to the audience members that, yes, there's a change. We're moving forward. I think that the show accomplished that in this interaction, too, with Outlander.
And mind you, we love Laura Donnelly. Like, we thought she was a fantastic Jenny.
She was
we
great,
wish her all the best of luck in her future endeavors.
Yep.
But the new actress,
I think she even matches the tone of her voice well.
Does.
Yeah.
And like that's what you have to think when you're recast as someone. You don't get to necessarily create this new character. You can have some things that you get to grow eventually, but your job is to act as the previous actor acted in that role. And that's like a double whammy.
Hard. Yeah.
That's a double whammy. So you can tell how much she studied the way that she held herself, her facial expressions, how she would speak. And I think she nailed it. I think this entire episode, I could see Jenny. Not at first. And like I said, the wig. Okay. But aside from that, I could see Jenny, and I'm going to have this as a believable Jenny going forward.
Well, you
Excellent
know,
job.
Mary, something else that also works too for you if you have a harder time, I think, as a viewer getting into the new Jenny, is this. She's playing a different version of Jenny. She's playing an older version of Jenny.
Yes.
You know, someone who's been through it,
whose husband is dying. Like, so you think about the physical toll that takes on you, the aging toll. Agreed.
So, I mean, is that a little pie in the sky? Sure. Is that you trying to look through the woods to see the trees? Sure. But it makes sense. It makes sense if you want to look at it that way. This is just a different version of her. It's an older version that is not the younger Laura Donnelly version that we were watching. And that's how I got through it.
And then even when Jamie catches her screaming and he goes to check on her, I liked that then he kind of reaffirmed, these are all the things that you've done.
Yeah.
You took care of our dad. You took care of us when mom died. You've birthed 7 kids. You grieved Caitlin. You have taken care of Ian.
You laughed at Blackjack Randall.
Yes, when he was, yes. So like that's another way for the show to say like, this is still that same person without it being too in your face and reminding us it's the show's way of saying, this is now the person who has gone through all of that. This is the person who laughed at Blackjack Randall. Yeah. This is the person with all these million babies who just wouldn't stop popping out babies. This is this woman, this mighty strong woman who is screaming at the heavens above in grief and anguish.
Yep.
And this is Jamie's sister. And so I loved how they did those 2 times to really affirm it, to tell us as the viewers. And like I said, I'm here for it.
Kyle Ann here on Facebook said, think of all the recasting in The Crown. It worked. Mm-hmm. Well, The Crown was different, and that was purposely done. That was the intent, right, to recast all those people and recast them all together. Mm-hmm. This is much harder to do when you're recasting one person among a group of people that they've never interacted with, that widely the character of Jenny is loved, I think, by the entire fandom. And to step into those shoes and just be like, hey, this is me now, that's hard.
That's so hard. So I do hope that listeners, you're giving the new actress love online and welcoming her as we welcome all new people into this fandom, because she's done, in our opinion, she's done a remarkable job, but also it's not easy to be the new kid. So,
how about, are we getting a little bit of an overreaction with her saying, maybe you have no soul, Claire? Little bit of an overreaction?
No, that's a Fraser.
That's a Fraser if you ever saw one.
Okay, Jamie lays it all out. Claire lays it all out. Grudges, begrudges, begrudges, okay? They're Scots.
Yes.
She's still pissed, right?
Yeah.
It's
Fair.
okay. And let's be real. Probably in the back of her mind, it's always been, I wish Claire was here so she could help this.
Yeah.
It's always been this ongoing monologue, and now she is finally here. And what the heck do you mean you can't save the person who means the most to me? Anyone would feel that way, whenever you have someone in your life who's dying, or even a beloved pet who's dying, you are looking to your doctor figure, your healer, with nothing but hope. Nothing but hope. If this is your most beloved, cherished being on the planet, you are looking to them to say yes. Whatever the cost, yes. And Claire outright says, there's no yeses. There's none. There's not even a maybe. It's just a no. He is going to die. And there's nothing I can do about it except make him feel better, during the time he's alive.
It would be kind of hard to think of it you're from the future. Figure it out. You got all the answers. How do you not know this? It'd be hard to not think like that. And I kind of don't blame for Jenny just being you're choosing to not help Ian.
And we see her screaming later. This is a woman who is drowning in grief and trying to hold it together for her entire family. Now all of her kids are back home, and she's learning this amazing yet totally wild knowledge about her sister-in-law. And she's losing. I loved in the Roger time frame when young Jenny is there and she gets told, hey, Ian Murray isn't here, girl. Turn right around. And you really see, it's this has been her lifelong love. This has been her person. Mm-hmm. And now she needs to say goodbye before she's even close to ready for it.
Yep.
And not only does she have to say goodbye, but she has to see him suffer and how hard that is. So I appreciate her saying all that. I think Jenny has a wild little temper in her. She is not always the kindest person. She will be sorry, Yeah. But I believe this in Jenny. And I actually liked that there was a strong reaction in this episode with the new Jenny to be yep, there's our girl. There's our girl who's expressing milk with her hand when she's on a horse with Claire. Gotta get it done. I just love my newborn home, but this is what we do. This is our powerhouse Jenny. So I'm here for it.
Right. Did you get enough reaction from the family when Claire does admit to being from the future? Do you think that it deserves a little bit more time to breathe, more questions, more reactions, just more doubts, just more of more? Is there? What do you think about that?
Okay, so if I was a Murray, and if I was at this table learning all these things about my Auntie Claire, holy smokes, I would not be leaving that girl's side. I'd be tell me everything. Mm-hmm. Tell me everything, good, bad, ugly, all the awesomeness in between. Tell me the wild, tell me the airplanes, tell me all of it. But this show is only so long, so I don't think she can go into all of it.
Sure.
Would it have been awesome? Can we hope that maybe there's a deleted scene out there with them asking about, who's it's and whatsy dinks and all the kind of, crazy things that they can think about.
Whatsy dinks?
I'm just making up words, man, because that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm going to keep that one.
You're welcome.
Whatsy dinks.
Like, I just, yes, Blake, I can see them asking more questions.
Yeah.
I don't think the show would allow that.
Yeah.
And also their minds are just blown and they're dealing with this crazy grief. So the immediate thing is, okay, she's from the future. Can she help with this immediate problem? She's telling us about this crazy thing going on in France.
Mm-hmm.
And then Claire has to really decide, like, how much and how little do I tell? So,
yeah, I was just thinking about this, Mary. I don't know why this popped in my head. But season 7 started with Claire being in jail for murdering Malva.
Yeah.
And think of where we are now.
Yeah.
Like,
she's lived
that
a lot
feels
of
like
lives.
that feels like a lifetime ago.
Claire has the same amount of lives as a cat.
Oh, she's got more than that. Holy smokes.
I'm surprised Claire isn't as gray as me. Let's just put it that far,
That's
okay?
true. Good point.
How do I have more silver hairs on my head than Claire Fraser? She needs to catch up. Come on, people. Wig department, step it up in 8. We need to have some serious white hair on this lady for multiple reasons.
I can't believe that's where season 7 started. And,
yeah.
And now we're at
Things
this
are
point.
wild, man. The Outlander verse.
Yeah, it just goes to show you the breadth of time that not only has happened in the show, but in the real world as well. Like it doesn't feel.
No.
It feels like so long ago.
So while Jamie is here in Lallybroch, he tells Claire, while she's all about the apples. I feel like apples were a sponsor of this episode.
Right? I know.
You know how, like, in the 90s, it was milk?
Yeah, right. It was
like
always
milk everywhere.
Milk and Pepsi.
And yes. Oh, my God. Like, every show, there'd just be, like, a Pepsi bottle on the table or something. This was brought to you by the apple growers of Scotland, yes.
You got some Sunny D, some purple stuff.
And it's just a fun way to, like, have Jamie joke with her, like, oh, you're feeding the horses apples now.
Yeah.
Yes, I care about their teeth. And now he packs her extra apples. Like, I love it. I just love these little bits to remind us, this healer and the forward knowledge that she has, that even something as simple as an apple a day.
Right. Can we talk about the absolutely accurate, 100% true dialogue between the two of them?
Yeah.
If you don't find out who she's sleeping with, I will kill you. I looked at Mary. Unfortunately, Mary didn't watch it with me because
I was vomiting.
She was vomiting. I
I've
watched
been
it,
sick.
but I turned to my right side and I gave an air high five.
TMI, friends. TMI. Where's Claire? And I need her.
I gave the air a high five as if Mary was next to me because that is 100% fact.
Oh, like, even from the beginning of the conversation where he's like, so how do you think if I go see Leary? And her initial reaction is, are you asking me?
Yeah.
Or are you telling me?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like
this
that,
was great.
yes, I would have done that.
Oh,
and
yep.
then he's like, oh, I'm I need to do it or whatever. And she's like, all right, well, if you want to know who she's sleeping with, there's other ways. And I was like, dang, Claire, look at you. You got some Boston in you. Laying it out. That's the Boston in Claire.
That's the Boston
Being like,
Claire.
you want to know who she's sleeping with, don't you? Bobby down the road. Okay? Yeah. Bobby from Boston. That's who she's been banging.
He was over down in the corner.
Yeah.
He was always out there smoking
and then
his
he's like, no, I've got some unfinished
Your
business.
cousin.
It's fine.
From
I've got some stuff
Boston.
going on. And yeah, for Claire to then saying, if you don't tell me who she's banging.
Yeah.
Claire, I didn't know this about Claire.
Yeah. She loves the tea.
Claire loves the tea. Claire probably was People Magazine out in the 70s? Because if so, she was the first person to subscribe.
Probably.
She wants the tea on everybody.
She is a lady whistle down and waiting right there.
God.
Right?
I mean, I feel like her life is adventurous and she doesn't need the tea, but for her to still want it, well done, Claire. Well done.
Yep.
You're just like us.
Celebrities, just like us.
And he goes off, and I thought of you.
Yep.
So Jamie's riding his horse, looking so good, looking like his little Pop and Jay that he is.
Oh, yes.
And he comes on up, and he sees poor Joey just trying to do some
Struggling.
farming. Oh, bless his sweetheart.
I don't even know what's wrong with him, but it sucks.
It sucks, okay? You're traversing on, like, not flat ground, and you got a little, like, limp to you. Anyway, so he comes on over. Who are you? I could ask you the same thing. And all I thought of is that's my husband. Like, this guy lives here, is caretaking the ground.
Yeah.
You just strut on up on your
just
horse.
showing up.
And you're not going to tell me your flipping name? And instead you tell me I need to tell you mine?
Who am I?
King of Men, calm it down.
Who am I? Who are you?
Yeah, no, that's what Blake honestly says. He says people call, people come. Little Girl Scouts come up with the cookies. Who am I?
Not Girl Scouts. No, the kids
Your
that
cookies suck compared to mine.
they do. No, the kids that do, like the teenagers that do Halloween. Oh no! You're not just coming up here getting free candy.
You know who you give it to is the people who want to put the solar panels on our house,
true,
and we don't
yeah.
want to get rid of our maple tree because
Right.
they say, "Oh, if you cut down your maple tree," and we're like, "We have
No.
one of the last maple trees on our street."
I would love to get rid of the maple tree.
I love the
There's
maple tree.
someone in this room, and her name rhymes with Mary, that does not want to get rid of this tree.
My favorite part of the maple tree this time of year is that the leaves fall. As I said, we're the only people with a maple tree on this block,
Yeah,
and the leaves are in everyone else's yard.
they just go everywhere.
They go everywhere.
They're enormous.
Nobody else has trees because they're all like solar panel people.
And
which
when I
is
tell you,
great,
this tree is enormous.
but it like covers everyone on our block's yard
Yeah.
before we can rake them all up. And it's just funny to me because I'm like, they all must drive by our house and see that maple tree and just shake their fists like Newman, but Larson's.
Larson. Gloria says People magazine came out in March of 1974.
Boom.
See, it's only natural that I love People magazine because it came out in March. It's a Pisces, just like me.
Okay, well done, Blake. So here we go. We get Leary coming on out.
Oh, leg hair, dude.
Leary,
She's
they
got some.
aged her very well.
Totally agree. It's
In a
awesome.
way that like is believable. Leary, we haven't had Leary in our lives for a while,
Mhm.
and dang girl,
She's got some pent up anger.
she has so many pent up issues, and I love it because everything was holly jolly. I mean, aside from Ian Sr. saying he's dying,
Yeah.
and wife dying from the flu. Oh my God.
Everything's great except for people dead, dying.
Aside from the dead, dying people, Leary brought it. I have nothing to say to you. I
Yeah.
already know about Marcelly, who's not going to be in this season. It's okay, but that's all you're going to get. I already know about my daughter, and how dare you, and
You know it's just bubble.
Oh my God, she's just, you Sassenach whore. Yes! Oh, like that needs to be a little clip. Like, she is just digging and digging and digging at him, throwing it all. She has so much beef with this man.
All the
throwing
beef.
buckets, getting her little pitchfork
She's
out.
basically Wendy's.
Oh my God. There are times in your life, friends, and it might be this week at Thanksgiving dinner. Okay?
Oh,
Just saying. There might
Guaranteed.
be times in your life where you want to speak your mind. And I just want you to replay this scene and tell yourself, I can't do this. But if I could be Leary right now and say what you need to say, feel your feelings, speak your truth.
oh my God.
Just
Mary.
watch Leary and let her do it for you with that flippin' bucket and pitchfork.
Listeners, I'm begging you. Don't do what Mary's saying right now.
No, I'm saying don't
I'm begging
actually
you.
do it. I'm
Okay,
saying
all right.
watch it and feel it through that. Do not act
not
like
wanna
Leary
play-
at the Thanksgiving dinner table, but live it through her.
You do
and
not
be like,
want to play the Mary Larson playbook during dinners.
No.
No, you don't want that.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Especially if people are being racist or putting down things that you care about.
Well, no, that makes sense. I know, but I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Or talking about people in the armed forces or about people with special needs. Oh, get me revved up.
Oh,
Things like that. I'm like, I'm a daughter of a vet. My
Yeah.
sister. Oh yeah, I become Leary.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
If
Mary,
you push
like
those
Leary,
buttons.
like leg hair, just finds anything around here to just start throwing.
Oh my God.
If it's a bucket, sure. Is
I
it a
had to
pitchfork?
teach-
Sure.
I had to teach my middle schoolers the word retardando, which means to slow down.
Yes.
Retardando sounds like the word retarded, and this is, as I just said, a very sensitive topic, and I had some laughter in my class.
Mm-hmm.
They saw Leary.
Oh, they
Miss
definitely saw
Music
Leary.
Teacher Larson turned into Leary. I wasn't calling anyone a Sassenach whore, but I gotta tell you, I was like, oh no, we do not. And I laid it down. I didn't pick up a pitchfork, but I'm just saying there are times in your life you want to act like that. So, granted, I'm glad he's not married to her anymore. I was proud of her.
You know what we need? We need a shirt that says "Screw calm" and, and "Be leg hair."
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Live your life.
Yep.
Be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
Oh my God. I just feel like we've all had these situations and these people that you like dream what you want to say to them. And you have, and then I would say this and I would do that. And Leary got to live her dream.
Oh, she got it. You know how long she's been sitting there waiting for that moment?
Yes.
Never knowing
If
when
that
she's going to
man
get it.
came back, this is what I'd say to him.
And it came off right off the cuff. Like it was
Oh no, it
present.
came after she asked, like, and after you kiss me.
Yeah.
Stupid. You know where Jamie went wrong? He asked her, who were you kissing that you got caught with?
right.
Jamie!
Are you
and
kidding
Claire need to stop it with your Us magazine, People magazine, wanting to know the dish. Why did he care who she was kissing that he got punched for?
Who knows?
Just
Because
shut your mouth. And she's like, yeah, well, it doesn't matter because you kissed me after. Did you already love Claire then? Yes. Boom. Boom.
the things just start getting hucked.
It's like, Jamie, stop asking questions.
Jamie, just stop talking.
You know, me and Claire really want to know. We have this little like cartoon strip that we make about Leary and who she's banging, and we want to know who were you first banging? Who were you first making out with that you got in trouble for? Claire and I are dying to know. She's gonna kill me if I don't find out. And then Joey comes to save the day. Not really.
Yeah.
He comes on over. He could have really hurt
He's like,
Jamie.
"Hey, guys."
Came with the hoe.
Yeah.
And thank God he was like tripping because that could have really hurt. And I'm not talking about Claire. Okay, I'm not talking about that
Talking
kind of
about
hoe.
leg hair.
Okay, he comes with,
came
the hoe,
with the hoe.
and he could have gotten seriously hurt. And instead, Jamie's king of men, bippity boppity boo, punches the guy. Leary runs over. Leave him alone. Oh my God.
He came with the hoe.
He did. Oh, loved it. And she's just coddling Joey. He needs me and you never needed me.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
then comes to the conversation later where Jamie asks Claire.
Do you feel like I need you?
She's like, yeah, from the
Yeah.
moment I met you.
You were a mess.
Yeah, shoulder man.
Yeah.
Remember? Falling off your horse fainting. Stop! He's fainted!
He's fainted over
Alcohol!
Alcohol.
Early Claire accent. Oh my God, gotta love those days. Okay, let's travel. Oh, we'll end up with little wee Joni. Joni is the person who names who knocks on the door. Not whatevs.
She wants to be a nun. They strike a deal.
You know who did not get the memo that she wants to be a nun?
Who?
Ian Sr.
No.
He's like, we Ian, you know who's hot now?
Yeah.
Your
Why
cousin.
don't you check that one out?
Your cousin.
Your cousin from Boston.
Your cousin.
Yeah, she's not blood related, so it's all good.
So
All
we're good.
Step cousin, totally cool, totally cool. No, Joni does not. That was her option. That was pretty. That's why
Yeah.
she wants to become a nun. They're like, maybe if Mohawk Ian comes back, and she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, no,
he
I'm
smells like a dog.
good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Do you see the hair?
I'm all set.
I'm out on the hair.
We would obviously have a redheaded child.
She was saying bye, Ian.
She was saying much. She was like, I will take Jesus as my husband, please. So love Joan. I love her gumption of knowing to come on up and to talk to Jamie and just to lay the facts out. This is the no drama Joan, okay?
Yeah.
She's just like, listen, man,
Yep.
you got to fix some things. My mom's the whore, okay? She's got to have her name
No, you
cleared.
gotta say it right.
I can't.
Huh.
Here.
Huh.
You got to clear some things up, and then this all gets fixed, and I'm really excited about it. And Jamie just hands over those 2 silver balls. Thwack. Jamie, can't give 1, can't give 3, got to give 2 because that's what I got.
I thought they were gold balls.
That's what I meant, gold balls.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I said silver, but I was just trying to get to the balls part.
That's what she said.
That's right. Jamie. He's like, you'll never see mine.
You
Never
missed
see
it.
mine again.
You missed it.
I know, I heard that that's what she said.
Okay, good.
Like, I'm making like a perverse joke. I know what sound clip you're going to play. Plus, you play it so loud I could hear it through your headphones.
Just gotta get to the balls.
Yeah, I just wanted that. You're welcome. So, Claire, let's go to Roger for a wee bit. Roger
Very little bit.
and Buck, make the worst decision. Let's separate and
Oh, I
hopefully
know.
reconvene in a few days.
Awful. Horrible.
Guys, neither you know when you are. You don't really know where you are. You kind of do,
Horrible
kind of
decision.
don't. And maybe, hopefully, we can meet up in a couple of days.
How do you know? How? Nope.
I'll tell you why. It's because there's 2 guys doing this. Okay?
No.
If Claire was on this trip, would this been allowed to happen? No. If Bree was on this trip, would this be allowed to happen? No.
It's happening because the story needs it to happen.
Yeah.
That's why.
No, because Buck and Roger think it's a great idea. Roger's the one that's like, if we spit out, cover more ground.
You want to know why it's not a great idea?
No, stop. We already said.
It's because Roger thought of it.
Oh, wait. We got some spam person here on YouTube. Can you take care of that?
I can't.
Okay. So, Roger, Lollybrock,
Yep.
Brian wearing Jamie's dad's coat because it is Jamie's
Got
dad.
my dad's coat.
Yes. And he goes on in. You see how Roger's just like nonchalantly walking in his house,
Right.
seeing his desk.
I love that. That was one of my favorite moments of that entire episode when he sits at his desk.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh wait, nope, not my desk.
Not my desk.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to do this.
This is this gives me a lot of cool Back to the Future vibes. Seeing Lollybrock as this central place for 3 different time periods, and how it differs from each time period, what it means to each family in that time period, and knowing that it's going to end up in Roger's hands with Bree, especially when Jamie's writing letters there, and it's like, oh, they're going to end up getting there. Like, I wish the show could stick with this more, and have the 3 time periods all centered around Lollybrock, because that feels awesome. Like the events that are happening, in one place happened there, and it almost reminds me, Mary, of when we were watching Rings of Power and we saw where Sauron was fighting Galadriel, #spoilers. It was the same place that Frodo got stabbed by the ring wraiths. And you're like, oh, like that happened there, and like really cool stuff. It almost reminds me too of season 1 of Castle Leoch, when Frank, R.I.P. Frank, and Claire are downstairs in the dungeon, and then Claire ends up in the dungeon in the 1700s, and she was there. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. He goes on in. I love Brian Fraser. Such a sweet man.
Yes.
And
hey, your kid's missing. Let's go drink.
I was kind of hoping that Brian was going to be like, just like the Newman Larsons. I hope he was going to be like Campbell's.
Right.
Because I think I told you. I think the Campbells are one of the families that my dad wasn't allowed to play with.
Yes.
So they were like, of course it's a Campbell. I wanted Brian Fraser to say that.
Right.
Be like, of course it's the Campbells. But we didn't have that. Cameron. It's the Campbells in my family that they were against. And if any of you are Campbells, know that I love you and it's okay. But that was just what my dad was told, like growing up. We couldn't play with Campbells. So the Camerons, thank you.
Yeah.
Scottish life.
Sure.
This is real life.
Hey, they're shooting in North Carolina, not Scotland.
No, they're not. And then when he's out and Jenny's looking for Ian, and but not really looking for Ian, and she says, your kinsman, aka Buck,
he ain't looking too good.
Yeah, and they're also saying that there's this fairy man walking around wearing a short coat, weird pants, weird boots.
Yes.
Fairy man.
It's gonna be the right time. Like, they are not separated in time. It just so happens that for whatever reason, Rob Cameron went to that time. I don't know why. But what Roger wants most is to find his kid. And the Stones take that into consideration, so it spits him to wherever his kid went. Like, there's no chance that he's in a different time period than his kid is.
So who do you think the ferryman is?
I think it's Rob Cameron.
Okay.
And knowing that, it probably won't be, because it's the show is clearly telling you to think that it is. But I don't think.
I'm gonna pause. Remember, friends, this is a spoiler-free podcast. Before you write anything that Blake hasn't.
I don't think that they're gonna be in freaking dinosaur times. Like, who knows?
Who knows, Blake?
But maybe Jemmy just loves dinosaurs. I just loves dinos. I don't know. Could be. But I don't know. I feel like.
You think, like, obviously he gets back together with Buck and Buck's hurt.
Yeah.
And you think the ferryman is Rob Cameron. And now they still also
Now you're giving me pause. Now you
It's okay. No, I'm just trying to. When I first heard it, when I heard they say, "Oh, there's this guy walking around who's awkward," I thought like, "Oh, is Buck making a scene?"
Right.
But then when they said how he was dressed, I was like, "No, Buck's dressed appropriately,
Yeah,
so
right.
that's not it." And then of course they said, "And your kinsman is hurt, and we're bringing him back to you." And then they go into town to the healer.
Yeah. Freaking Galus with the music.
Galus opens. Oh yeah.
Oh, the
the bear flare.
I'm just I have to give this if I could just find it.
It makes me wanna shout.
Hearing the Bakra theme play when Galus opens up that door. Oh, that's some good stuff. Oh, I got that. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, of course, hearing Roger's reaction to her opening up the door. That's one of those moments where, I even said this, I think, last episode that we produced, Mary. Outlander has a really good chance here to play its greatest hits. Bring back Galus. Bring back Dougal. Bring back Blackjack Randall. Bring back, the Laird, bring back all of these people that have not been in the show for so long, and now they get a chance to interact again. That's really cool stuff.
It is. Okay, but I have a predicament. Live show. You're getting some inside scoop. I gotta go pick up our daughter.
Okay, well, you know what? Then let's close it out right now. You ready?
Can we close it out?
Yeah, let's close it
You're
out.
gonna have to edit this part out.
Yeah, I'll edit it out. We'll take care of it. All right, you ready?
Hold on. Is there anything else that I need to talk about? We talked about Galus.
No, we got the
talked
listener
about Jim-
feedback episode.
And then we have Claire and Ian going bye-byes to go save and go see Lord John Grey and
Yeah.
somehow the letter. And Ian, this is my dying wish.
Yes.
And lots of
okay,
apples.
great.
Okay.
All right, you ready for the Outlandish Theory of the Week? Real quick?
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Mock me.
Oh, that's the wrong one. All right, so we got wee Ian going back to America with Claire. First of all, ain't nothing good gonna happen from this departure. Claire is either something. I think they're gonna make it to America, but when Jamie decides to come back to America, something bad's gonna happen. Like they're gonna get separated again. It feels like season 3 all over again. So that clearly is gonna happen.
Hey, by the way, Ned Gowan's still alive.
Right?
Needed to add
Toothless.
that.
He's got no teeth,
Love
but he's good.
that. Yes.
But lest we forget,
Blessed.
good old Archbug is out there. And it ain't a coincidence that we're talking about Rachel Hunter the way that we are with Ian's dad and Ian and the whole thing pining after her, and you can't wait for her. She's going to get swept off of her feet.
The dog.
I'm not saying that Rachel's going to get killed because I think that would be cruel to Ian, and as the mover of your universe, it would be tough for the show to do that. But I think it's going to be close. Archbug is out there. He knows that Ian's gone. He's been biding his time. And I think Ian comes back just in time to save Rachel. That's my thought.
Interesting. Collectively, remember, friends, if you know the future, if you're a time traveler like myself and you've read the books, we just collectively say interesting.
All right, here we go.
Mock me.
Please hang up and try again.
All right, Marvin, I think that's it. We got to go get your kid.
Yes.
Well, we got to go get our kid,
yeah,
not
Blake,
your kid,
yeah.
our kid. and
Yes.
make that stuff happen. All right.
Awesome.
As a reminder, everybody, we are going to have the listener feedback episode. So if you want to send us a voicemail or send us an email or have comments at jointhenerdclan.com, get those in as soon as possible. So that way, when we do the listener feedback episode, we can address them. And if we missed anything today, we will address it then. All right, here we go.
We want to thank all of you at jointhenerdclan.com. Your contributions truly have made this and all of our other podcasts possible. If we have brought some Lumos in a time of Nox, if you enjoy geeking out about Outlander with Blake and I, and you are not yet a member at jointhenerdclan.com, we highly recommend that you do. It's for as little as $2 a month. That is less than a cup of coffee. It goes to support us. We're a mom and pop podcast shop. We do not have media conglomerates and huge sponsors. We truly do this because we love it and we love doing this with you. But it honestly goes towards helping pay for our electricity and
Yes.
helping pay for our website fees. And without you, it's not possible. So know that this time of year, we do give gifts. We give holiday cards from Blake and I. We give a gift that is in the works, and like I said, might be Lollybrock related. So if you have not yet joined, now is the time to do it. We truly appreciate all of our friends at Join the Nerd Clan already. Like I said, Blake and I keep very social on our social media channels, so make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't signed up for our complimentary texting service and you're in the US, you can text the phone number 401-281-5551. That's 401-281-5551, and just text the word Outlander, and I will add you to our complimentary text list. And last but not least, you can go to maryandblake.com, where you can click to sign up for our complimentary emails, and we'll email you when we have new podcast episodes, when we're going live, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah,
right, Blake?
not spam. It's just when something new develops and we have a new episode out or a new blog out or whatever. If there's new news to be had, we send it via email. It's probably like a bi-weekly or monthly email at
Not
most.
in season.
Not in season.
In season, we'll be sending you like when a new episode is out, but otherwise it's like bi-monthly.
Yeah.
So on that note, friends, my name is Mary.
My name is Blake.
And you've been listening to Outlander Cast.
Yeah, that's it.
I was trying to find like a fun extra thing. We need to find something Gallic to say.
We can figure that out.
Yeah, we do.
But we've been saying you've been listening to Outlander Cast
forever.
For 10
for
years
a decade.
now.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
maybe we should stick with it.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Nerds, send us a message. If you want us to say something else at the end of the episode, something Gallic, or something that is a phrase from Outlander.
And Blake's going to be making some holiday shirts. So for the maryandblakestore.com. So the maryandblakestore.com. That will also go out into some emails too. So if you're looking for some new Outlander swag, and it's not just shirts, it's literally like Outlander swag that Blake does with all of his nerdiness. Stay tuned because he has some fun ideas there as well. All right,
cool.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Bye everybody.